So Nathan, the big announcement today, why should Glasgow Warriors fans be excited about the Guinness PRO14?
I think part of the DNA of our competition has been it's a cross-border competition. It's the one European league that's got 4 different rugby cultures, some really unique trips, and that's one of the things that makes it a lot of fun, I think, to be a part of the Pro 12. Now we're adding another rugby culture in South Africa, one of the proudest rugby nations there is. Rugby's a religion in South Africa. So I think it's a really exciting development, and plus for the Warrior Nation, there'll be a really exciting trip to leave the British winter, hopefully, and to go to the South African summer.
How is the conference system going to work, and why couldn't we just have a league of 14 teams playing twice?
Finish top 3 in your conference, you make the playoffs. It's simple. So we've got 7 teams in our conference. We've got to finish in the top 3. That's got to be the focus. There's rewards for finishing 1 and 2. You get the home quarterfinal at 2 and the home semifinal if you finish top. So there's rewards for pushing on to second, first, but the focus of all 7 teams in our conference is going to be how do I finish in the top 3. I'm really excited about the conference system. I think part of our league structure is that we play from September to May. I think gaps are a good thing for supporters, are good for the players. There's also international periods when players want to be playing for their country. So I think the conference is a really exciting new format, and I'm looking forward to see how it goes. But focus is Glasgow Warriors need to finish the top 3. That's the focus.
What are the Cheetahs and the Kings going to bring to the Guinness PRO14?
Well, the Cheetahs are going to bring some bright orange jerseys, that's for sure. Look, they're a storied franchise in South African rugby and Super Rugby. They play some really good quality rugby, and I think, my opinion is that the results maybe haven't really reflected the quality of their side. So they're going to be really interesting. And the Southern Kings are fairly new franchise, but again, they got stuck in and had a pretty strong campaign this year. It'd be interesting to see that kind of mix of South African with Celtic style and how that works, and they see a little bit of contrast in style of rugby. But from our players, I think it's going to be pretty exciting for them to test themselves and have to challenge themselves in a different kind of rugby style in different places.
And the format means we now have 3 derby games. We'll be playing Edinburgh 3 times. How's that going to look in the first season of the Pro14?
Well, the supporters, we love the derbies, don't we? We love the 1872 Scottish Cup, and I think we get a real decisive 3rd game this time in terms of, there's the home and away, and then there's that decisive 3rd game. And this year we're one of the teams that, in this new format, it's 21 games. Some of the teams get 11 home games, some get 10. Unfortunately, we're one of the teams that has 10 home games. But the 11th game, if you will, is going to be against Edinburgh at BT Murrayfield. So it'll be our job to try to turn that into a home game in terms of the support we put into it and the backing that we give our team.
You spoke about South Africa being such a huge rugby country. It's a brand new market. How can the club grow by being involved with clubs like that?
South Africa's, rugby is the main sport. It is one of the mature rugby markets. So for us to be able to put our brand into a culture, I think it'll breathe new life into their rugby a little bit as well. These 2 teams are going to be playing rugby during their summer, which is not the traditional rugby month. So that's going to put rugby in front of people in South Africa at a time when they're not used to having rugby. At a new time, it's going to put rugby in front of the people of South Africa at a new time, which is exciting. Obviously, expanding the reach all the way from Glasgow in the far north, all the way across the world to South Africa is pretty exciting.
Someone who will know a lot about the Cheetahs and the Kings is Dave Rennie. His Chiefs side got to the semi-finals of Super Rugby this year. When are we expecting him, and do you think we'll have a benefit because he's played in that division before?
Yeah, I think Dave's had to cope with the travel. He's had to deal with some of the challenges. He's obviously been to South Africa, so he'll know what it's like to go there and play, to go there and prepare for the week of the game as well. It's important. John Humphreys and Jason O'Halloran went and spent some time with him in South Africa in advance. I think it was the game against the Stormers this year, so they've got a taste of that as well. So yeah, I think Dave's experience will be a real asset to us. Unfortunately, the Chiefs were knocked out at the weekend of the semis. So that's now, you know, them finished. We're expecting Dave in about a week's time, just over a week's time, to come here and join us. But he's been in contact regularly with the coaches, regularly with me, regularly with the players. So he's ready to hit the ground running.
So we've only got the 10 home games in the Pro14. We've got 3 in Europe. Where's that extra game going to come from for these season ticket members?
Yeah, it's a 14-game season ticket. We'd hoped we were going to be one of the Pro 14 games teams with the 11 home games, but unfortunately we're not. However, we've secured tickets for our season ticket members to be able to attend the final leg of the 1872 Scottish Cup at BT Murrayfield. So, you know, the 14th game will be that game. And in fact, we're actually going to, not just one ticket for every season ticket holder, we're going to give them an additional ticket so they can bring a friend or a family member along as well. So we're recognizing that it's a little bit of an inconvenience for them, but we think the extra ticket will be seen as will be accepted as an appropriate gesture, and also it means we'll get extra support there behind the team too.
It's going to be a season of change and difference for the supporters here, new coaching staff, lots of new players. Are you excited for this coming season?
The guys have been working really, really hard. You can see it. You know, I've been able to see how hard they've been working. The coaches are pleased with the work they're putting in, and you know, a different approach. And I think the players are reinvigorated by that. And yeah, you know, with the group of players we've put together some really exciting players in terms of the guys that are here, guys like Stuart Hogg and Tommy Seymour and Tim Swinson and Johnny Gray. But adding to that, you know, a guy like Siwa Halanuka who, you know, put the Lions, you know, earned that scrum penalty against the Lions to help his side win that game, and Hugh Jones coming as a really exciting. So I'm really excited about the players we got. I'm excited about the record season ticket holders and the fans we're going to have here at Scotstoun to support the team, and you know, yeah, I think it's going to be a really fun season.